Protest at FIU.
Pause off our students. Pause off our students.
In the debates over their partnership with ICE. New details.
And I just looked, and there was someone on fire.
On the Boulder, Colorado hate crime. And uncovering a message.
My brother and I were like, oh, we should just go make one ourselves for fun.
That washed on Florida shores. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Mauro Rueda.
And Stephanie Tenia. Today's Tuesday, June 3rd, 2025.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
Concerns on the campus of the Florida International University about the school's international students. A protest about university policy and a meeting to select its 7th president happening at the exact same time yesterday.
Caplin's Nicola Esper has more with a recount on both.
Protesters gathered on Monday in fight to be heard, all while the Board of Trustees of FIU was unanimously voting in Jeanette Nunez as president.
Pause off our students. Pause off our students.
I had previously assumed that FIU, given that it's Florida International University, would be a safe option for them, but they're seeing all of these developments. They're seeing the fact that students have had their visas revoked in FIU arbitrarily with no reason given, and that's just not a safe option anymore for somebody who's looking to study here.
This protest follows the visa revocations of 18 international students, though administrators stress that represents less than 1% of FIU's foreign scholars. The 287G program, approved in April, trains campus police as ICE agents, a policy President Nunez supports and police chief of FIU calls local control, saying they want to protect their students, and by signing the agreement, they have a say in what ICE can do. President-designee Nunez saying she has full confidence in the chief to handle this situation fairly.
That he would much rather be in control of that process than have somebody come in, an agent from who knows where, come in and manage that.
Now with a new president now in place who supports this program, protesters are saying that the fight still continues, but as of right now, it's out of their hands. We're live in West Miami-Dade. I'm Nicolette Esper reporting for Caplin News.
Also, support pouring in from classmates of a high school student who was detained by ICE. He was taken into custody on Saturday in Massachusetts. Reporter Dan Bucci has more on the story.
I think because of Marcelo and how he acted towards people is why so many people came out here today to help support Marcelo.
Hundreds of Milford High School students walking out of school Monday, demanding freedom and justice for their classmate Marcelo Gomez da Silva.
He's a student who is learning every other subject like every other student. He's excited about his future like every other student.
The high school junior was detained over the weekend while on his way to volleyball practice.
When I saw all the cops, that's the first thing that came to my mind.
This student, who didn't want to be identified, was with Marcelo when he was detained.
They were just asking for an ID, like documentation. At that point, none of the three of us knew that that we had the right to not say anything.
Marcelo has spent most of his life in Milford, moving here when he was just 5. His girlfriend of almost 2 years says faith is what's helping the community get through this.
This is God's love. Right behind me is God's love. And he loved Marcelo, and Marcelo was God's servant. He always preached the message of love.
Classmates can't understand how someone so positive could have something so negative happen to them.
It's horrible, being taken into the hands of someone who you don't know and potentially leaving the country. I wouldn't wish that on a single person.
Danae Bucci, WCVB News Center 5.
3 people are recovering this morning after their plane crashed near a Florida beach. The crash happened in Vero Beach on Sunday. Rescue helicopters and boats worked together to recover all 3 people on board. They were transported to a nearby U.S. Coast Guard base.
12 people are injured after a man attacked a Jewish community in Boulder, Colorado, using a flamethrower and Molotov cocktails. The FBI described this as an anti-Semitic attack, and the man was charged with a federal hate crime and 16 counts of attempted murder. Sherelle Hover has the latest information on this atrocious attack.
Boulder, Colorado firebombing suspect Mohammed Sabri Solomon appeared in court Monday. He faces a federal hate crime charge. According to jail records, Solomon is being held on a $10 million bond.
It is set at $10 million cash only.
Solomon allegedly used a makeshift flamethrower and Molotov cocktails to set people on fire during a Jewish community event Sunday. The event takes place weekly in support of hostages in Gaza. According to an affidavit filed Monday, Solomon told investigators he, quote, wanted to kill all Zionist people.
And when he was interviewed about the attack, he said he wanted them all to die. He had no regrets, and he would go back and do it again.
Solomon is facing multiple state felony charges, including 16 counts of possession of incendiary devices with criminal intent.
I felt like heat, huge amount of flame, and I just looked and there was someone on fire.
There is a male with a blowtorch setting people on fire. We got bombarded with lots of 911s. I know that there was at least one party rolling around in flames.
An event participant says a Holocaust survivor is among the victims. The federal affidavit says Solomon had planned the attack for a year. I'm Sherelle Hubbard reporting.
Tensions are high this morning after China accuses the United States of provoking new economic and trade frictions. This response comes after President Trump claimed that Beijing has violated their tariff agreement, which had put a pause to the trade war. U.S. officials expected China to lift restrictions on rare earth minerals, which are useful in U.S. supply chains. But as of now, China has not.
A federal judge temporarily blocks Homeland Security from ending 10,000s of TSA union contracts. A U.S. district judge in Seattle granted a preliminary injunction on Monday. This ruling comes after the Department of Homeland Security canceled labor contracts with the American Federation of Government Employees in March. The judge said that the DHS explanation was lacking substance and reflective of retaliatory intent.
Recent college graduates are struggling in the workforce after economists say this is the worst job market in years. A Oxford study says the unemployment rate for people aged 22 to 27 years old with at least a bachelor's degree is consistently higher than the national rate. The Bureau of Labor Statistics shows the unemployment rate is twice as high as the national rate, which is at 4.2%. The Marlins looking for a win at home against the Colorado Rockies.
That's still ahead, and so is the story.
I was walking, and then the waves were coming, and the bottle almost went, but I grabbed it really fast.
A message found 7 years later, the story of who sent it and the person hid in Florida who received it. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together,
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an effort
to get to know each other
on a deeper level. Father,
cosplayer,
mentor,
actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
A message in a bottle found on the other side of the world. Several years ago in Hawaii, a teenager tossed a message in a bottle into the ocean.
7 years later, the bottle was found, making a connection between its sender and receiver. Bay News reporter Dylan Ancheta has more details on this story.
And I was like, oh, what is this about? And it was the piece of paper, and I knew it was mine because it had the paper cranes, and my brother and I had like an obsession with making paper cranes.
She said her younger brother wrote the message but put down her phone number. Together they tossed it at Kaena Point.
I was just shocked, and then I just thought like that was pretty cool. I texted them a little bit, and that was kind of that.
On the other end of the line was Paris Hoisington from Michigan. She was vacationing with her family in Florida when her daughter Josie found it at Bradenton Beach, some 4,700 miles away from Oahu.
I was walking, and then the waves were coming, and the bottle almost went, but I grabbed it really fast.
The message inside: hello people who found this. You will be happy that you found this. Why? Because you will know me with this number. They included the number and date, August 17th, 2018.
I just remember doing it because I had been walking on the beach at my favorite surf spot, and I had seen a message in a bottle. There was no phone number, but my brother and I were like, oh, we should just go make one ourselves for fun.
And fun it was. Hollenbeck says she never imagined it would have been found and led to such attention. Nowadays, she's more concerned about ocean pollution and encourages others to be more mindful and take care of both land and sea.
If I happen to walk upon one, I think it'd be really cool. I'd love to talk to people. But yeah, it was a super fun experience.
Dylan Ancheta, Hawaii News Now.
The Miami Marlins lost their second consecutive game at home to start their series against the Colorado Rockies. After leading by 3 runs in the second inning, the Marlins couldn't score again for the rest of the game. This gave Colorado the chance to not just come back, but win the game entirely. The final score was Colorado 6, Marlins 4. The Marlins will continue their series against the Rockies today at 6:40 p.m. You're watching Newsbreak, and we're coming right back.
Really use a new tablet. I just don't have the money.
Let me ask you something. Do you have a Pell Grant?
Yes.
You do know you can get a free tablet, right?
Did you say free?
Yeah, free. It's simple. And the application is done in the store.
I could really use a tablet.
Go, get one. Another satisfied customer. Stop by Panthertech in the Graham Center at FIU MMC today to speak with one of our associates to get your free tablet.
Type 2 diabetes can have a big impact on your life. But how can it be prevented? Well, the first step is knowing if you have something called prediabetes. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Stephanie Tenia.
I'm Mauro Rueda. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.